Also, we were muted. So, okay. I said rack and cats and meow and... Okay, anyways. We got one last best of 3 coming up. uThermal versus Serral. Now, we've been told we can cover this, which would be awesome. And we'll stick with it for a little bit longer. And then that'll be the end of the qualifiers after that point. For today, at least. Keep in mind, they'll still be casting tomorrow, but we won't. Or is it tomorrow? It's like one best of 5 or something weird, isn't it?
Yeah, if we cast tomorrow, it's only one best of.
Yes, we'll probably not be doing that.
Yeah.
But just waiting on the players in the lobby and all that good stuff to get this show on the road for the last one. Of course, thank you guys, everybody, so much for anything and everything today. We're up 68 follows, so almost 69. Almost perfect. We're a little over halfway to our what I set was a daily goal. Unfortunately, I don't think we're going to quite hit it, and that's fine. Feels bad. But we've had a lot of bits come in, and people have been fighting over the war chest code that's still going to be available. So, again, we have one war chest code up for grabs left before the stream is done. And like I said, whoever's name is on the bit boss when the stream goes offline. So this means if you get snaked at the last second, I'm sorry, that's too bad. But when the stream goes offline, whoever's name is down there is the one we're going to reach out to give the war chest code to. Sheer Shady also didn't have to do this, but good guy that he is, went out and tweeted, "I just want a hashtag war chest code from BaseTradeTV. Thanks Blizzard Entertainment for providing them." So yeah, legitsies, guys. 2 legitsies to quitsies.
Yep.
I'm really excited
by
for
making
this.
it sound cute, like it didn't sound like legit.
Whatever. I'm really excited about this though, because I have liked uThermal's TvZ for quite some time. Whether it was the really disgusting barracks style, or whether it's him playing mech, or whether it's him playing just anything he could versus Nurchio. He's had a really cool history of Zerg being his worst matchup to going to being like one of his best matchups.
Well, Serral has taken on innovation quite well. A lot of the top tier Terrans, so it's going to be pretty difficult for uThermal. Now, the winner of this does not qualify. The only qualifying spots are in the top 2. No, actually, I think that's supposed to be played out tomorrow. Just kidding. Yes? No. Hold on.
I think so, yeah.
I think New Hampshire plays again tomorrow. No, that wouldn't make any sense. Yeah, so is New Hampshire already qualified?
I don't know. I'm just here to cast games, man.
No,
I don't
we'll
understand how
play
WCS works.
Yeah, okay, yeah, he does play tomorrow. Alright, gotcha. Okay, so no one's qualified today. There you go. That's all that matters. I'm sure they're doing vetoes right now. It's actually super warm in my room. What the hell? Close the blinds.
Nice mohawk, Rifkin. Oh, you guys like my bedhead? I didn't get to shower today. We just kind of woke up and did stuff. I can't tame it unless I have a shower. It's just, because to be honest, my hair is full of like amazing, organic, homegrown grease and oil. So I could probably like actually do my hair a bit if I just like got it a bit wet, dried it, because of all the, yeah, I need a shower. Feels bad, man. It's weird because like I know girls go longer without showers for their hair because like it's like not drier or not as many oils or something. Like I don't remember, but
yeah,
I can't.
Yeah.
I really can't go like a day without showering without my hair feeling like so fucking gross. Like,
so there's this whole like it's almost kind of like a new movement. So I didn't get this memo, but apparently a lot of people have where you're not supposed to shampoo your hair every day. You're supposed to wash every day, but you're not supposed to shampoo your hair every day. And I didn't get that memo. So like basically it starts compensating so that when you don't shampoo, it looks a lot grosser. So recently there's been like this whole movement about like the no shampoo. And it is a good way to keep your hair healthy is by using shampoo less. But I agree. I don't like the way my hair looks when I don't shampoo it. So it's been difficult.
I just don't give a fuck. I just need to shower and that's it. Like I just want to clean my head. Easy peasy.
Yeah. As someone who's like very, very paranoid about like literal hair damage because of the blonde hair thing, I'm trying everything. Bleaching. I'd say never again, but I've already done it 3 times.
Plus, you look really good with blonde hair, dude. Let's be real here. Like,
yeah, I feel like this next time is gonna be my last though.
Just too much work to maintain it, or what?
Yeah, I think I say that every time, but like I'm really like actually just the only reason I would go back to brunette now, but I literally just like I don't know, branded my emotes with blonde hair, so I'm like
You might just have to do it one more time, dude. One more ride, one more show, but
yeah, so
okay.
so next.
Oh, they're not inviting Todd?
Oh, I think okay, yeah. UThermal just realized that.
Nerchio joined. Huh. I feel like that's not the guy he needed to get in here. Unless Nerchio's like co-casting on the Polish stream. Maybe he's joined a meal? I don't know.
They said on the main chain that Namshar qualified. Well, then maybe Namshar was the one that was misinformed because he tweeted, I have to play round of 4 tomorrow.
I got no clue, man.
Because I actually did think he was qualified from what like the top 4 meant, top 2, bottom 2, but I... Good tweet, bro.
Yeah. I thought it was cute. Just, that's like moments before you made the stupid cat noises. Alright, Ascension to Ire, let's hop into it. No game heart, feels bad, man. You guys will have no possible way of knowing when research is completing or workers are dying. Basically blind.
Basically.
But alright. As this, wait a minute. Did XSplit freeze? This is weird, guys. I don't know how to fix this. We're in-game, but StarCraft is showing the lobby screen on XSplit.
Oh.
Hang on, I'm gonna try a different scene. Okay, I believe StarCraft may have just simply broken. Because I can't add this as a new scene. It just goes black. What about screen region? Okay, screen region works. That is weird, guys. I've never experienced this problem before, and I don't know what's causing it. But anyways, it is the last best of 3 of the day, so before we get into the intros or anything like that, I must urge and beg, if you will, that you guys hit the follow button on the channel. It's free, it costs you nothing, it takes a couple seconds to do, and it makes sure that you know when we're live with all our casts. Now that being said, spawning here in the top left, we've got the Red Zerg player. It's Serral.
In the bottom right, as the blue Terran, it's liquid uThermal.
I still can't figure out what's causing StarCraft to hang like this. I'm trying to like refresh it too and everything. Like it's just a black screen now when I refresh it, so okay, we'll just rock and roll with this and hope nothing else breaks, boys. But if it does, it's always the mainstream, I guess.
Right? Well, so I thought it was thunder outside because it made big thunder noises, but it just made the noise for like, I want to say like 15 seconds, and it kind of freaked me out. And it's like bright and sunny. This is actually a problem I have living where I do because I keep forgetting that I live right next to a quarry. And sometimes I'm like, well, maybe it's just the quarry, but I know one time there's gonna be a deadly tornado right outside my house, and I'm gonna be like, it's just the quarry. I'm gonna die. It sounds like a train.
I feel like if you haven't picked... okay, first off, yeah, that'd be your bad, right? But secondly, you've got like 5 cats that should be freaking out if there's a tornado at your house. You've got a mom and a dad who's probably like, hey, Jessica, you want to take a look outside? What's all that noise, right? Like, if they're not willing to do it themselves, like, I feel there's no situation where a tornado gets that close to you and you have no idea that it's happening.
Oh my god. Okay, no, so Virginia had an earthquake years ago, right? Like 5 years ago at this point. It was the tiniest little thing. I had stayed home from class that day, and I was taking a nap, and I woke up to the earthquake, you know, like rocking and shaking and shit. And I thought it was a tornado. Oh, I panicked so hard, man. Oh. I've been legitimately scared of like going like taking naps during thunderstorms. I'm like, I'm gonna die. Like I'm on the top, top level. It's gonna come right for me. And the thing I'll regret the most is not my own death, but not being able to save my cats.
Really? I think like if that was me in that same situation, right, and I got the same fear as you and all that, the thing I would be most regretting is like, I could have died in such a cooler way. Like, if I'm gonna die, why has it got to be like this?
No one's gonna know I was taking a nap up until that point. So, you know, death by tornado isn't the least cool way to go.
The doctors are like doing like the autopsy report. They're like, her REM cycles were active when she died. She's probably taking a nap.
Shut up.
You can tell by like the serotonin in her brain, and you're just like, as a ghost, you're like, son of a bitch. Like,
the truth is, 15 years from now, there's going to be an obituary, and someone in our Twitch chat's going to be like, oh, I know how she died. Death by tornado? Nah, death by napping tornado.
It'll be some horrible meme, right? Like, we'll stream the funeral, obviously, because we stream everything nowadays, and then it'll be like, in chat, like, I died while napping. Noob.
That's exactly what they're gonna say. Oh, God.
I guess it's better to die while napping than die because you napped, though. If that makes sense.
Not sure. I'm with ya. I'm trying to understand the difference.
Like passing away in your sleep because of like, I don't know, sleep apnea or something, versus like you were sleeping at the time you got your head blown off or something. You know what I mean? Like.
At least you're sleeping both times.
That old joke. I want to go with like my grandpa, peacefully in his sleep, not screaming like the passenger at the back of his car.
Yeah, that's a good joke. All right, so this is a bit of an interesting opener versus Zerg. It's a Wood of Mine drop, but it could have done a lot of damage to the Lings, in fact, and obviously take out Queen.
I really like the Spore Crawler. I think bringing this forward, it's not just like good but huge. Just make sure that Wood of Mine doesn't go off again.
Yeah, and the creep spread is actually that close that he was able to do it. uThermal is gonna mech.
Somewhere out there, BaseTradeTV, he's watching. He's sipping on his drink and he's got a single tear going down. It's like, that a boy. That's my son.
Son?
Yeah, because he's the one who made him play mech recently. Of course, to be clear, like I'm pretty sure uThermal knows how to play mech and blah blah blah, but he said he liked it too, which I thought was kind of interesting after being so averse to it. So maybe this isn't such like a desperate thing, but for now in the early game, the double armoring a lot less important than the timing of this hell, well I guess call it Hellium, the Hellbat attack. This unfortunately doesn't have as many Marines to work with anymore, but 3 can still get quite a bit done supported by this, and you know, the Banshees will be not too far behind. Oh, that Ling gets to scout this though, and he sees that second factory.
Nice. Nice, nice, nice.
But oh, he actually elevators the Hellions. I thought this was going to be a frontal push.
He elevates them into a very easy surround of the Lings.
Yeah, not so good. Medevac really low from that too.
Did you hear that desperate cry?
It's because she's dying in her sleep, guys. Shout out to well paved. Thank you for that. Not just whoa, it's not just a sub, a brand new sub. It's a tier 2 sub.
Whoa.
I've been trying to get my hands on one of those for years. I can't do the voice right now, my throat hurts. But thank you so much for that tier 2 sub, dude. Or do that. I guess I don't actually know. Appreciate it nonetheless. uThermal's going for Cyclones. I don't like this. I don't like this style for mech. I don't think it's a very good one either.
We'll see, I suppose. I'm kind of with you on that one. uThermal's gonna try it. So Serral knows, you know, that it is mech, and soon enough I think you'll be able to see with like an Errantling or something like that it is also the Cyclone Mace. Cyclone Mace, oh god. Oh no. The Cyclone-based mech.
I like this idea where Cyclones no longer shoot little pellets, but like full-on like maces, like from like medieval times.
Oh my god. People are gonna. Oh, I was thinking of like pouring like milk over your eyes.
Oh, that kind of mace.
Zerglings. Oh, just imagine like the Zerglings get mace and they like do the thing with like the cats where they just kind of like rub their eyes and they start whining. It makes me sad.
If you like, maybe that's what medics did back in Brood War, right? They had optical flare. Really, it was just like they shot a canister at the thing, but it was a canister of mace.
The medic's mom, before it got sent off to duty, was like, "They're not gonna give you a gun, sweetie. Take some mace." She's like, "Thanks, mom," but it actually saves her life.
It's like, also here's a whistle too. Alright, these Lings get through. I don't know why that depot was lowered. That's a big mistake. So he's got to pull off the base, but he pushes with Banshee, Cyclones, and Hellbats. I mean, don't get me wrong. This is a powerful as heck attack, but I think a couple of good Baneling connects here mixed in with these queens, they hold. Oh, but they all go into the Cyclones.
Yeah, that one
said,
Cyclone just tanked all of them.
That being said, though, there's still plenty enough to clean this up. And while this goes on, the entire base here is denied. Not a lot of SCVs died from uThermal, but it was still a base being shut down.
Yeah, that was a long time not mining from that. And it maybe contributed to what could have been some missed micro on the front lines. He ends up retreating, though, with the Cyclones, which is good. And the Cyclone that did take out a lot of Banelings, that was actually good. Missed micro from Serral. But now Serral should be okay to drone and solidify his 5 bases. That's a lot. Finish his upgrades, and now he's going to be the aggressor.
Aggressor? But I hardly know her.
Oh, I've never heard that one before.
Really important note here about the blue flame coming out of these Hellions. Because while these are good against the Hydras and the Lings, obviously, if this was Serral playing Swarmhost, for example, this wouldn't just be good, but a necessity. And we've seen a lot of players, specifically Koreans, thinking like Keen and otherwise go mech, neglect blue flame and lose because of it.
True. Well, this is so uThermal's playing a very aggressive form of mech, not just with the Cyclones, but also now with tanks. Usually, when you transfer over to tanks, it's because like you're building up a 4th base and you're getting to like that late stage game of mech. With such a low tank count, like big surrounds are even more threatening.
Well, what I like about these is this is going to help deal with the Banelings a little bit better too. And uThermal's of course very well versed in unsieged tanks, as we could reference back to his like climb up the Nurchio ladder before. So however he wants to use these, I think having them on the front lines wouldn't even be that bad.
Well, since Serral's not setting up any type of... Well, no, just up. Spoke too soon. He does have a bit of a concave. It's not a full surround, and most of his army still came down that ramp, but, you know, it's not that critical mass of mech. It is going to be cleaned up by Lings, it looks like, at this point. Yeah, this was a surprisingly good trade for Serral. I thought he'd take a lot worse, but that's enough to shut uThermal down. Okay. I didn't expect to tap out, but GG, Serral now 1-0 in the series. It's difficult to continue on playing mech after losing the army and only being on 3 bases. Yeah, I think if you lose a lot of Hellions in your mind, that's like a lot easier to replace. When you lose a lot of tanks, you're like, that's just gonna take too long. It's just not worth playing out. Interesting to see uThermal play mech at all, by the way. So, I mean, he has in the past. It's not the weirdest thing. I just didn't expect it. Well, just gotta wait for the invite to the next game. And we'll get into game 2 on I don't know what map yet. Well, they figured that out, guys. Yeah, this is the last thing we'll be casting for the day. It's the last thing of the qualifier, so looks like Acolyte will be the choice. Which means I gotta queue up this intro. This oh boy. Really stupid intro. So I'm gonna start playing that now. We'll see if it times out or not. See you guys in game. No. All right, game number 2. Spawning here in the lower left side, we've got leading the series 1-0, the Red Zerg Serral. In the top right, as the Blue Terran, he is Liquid uThermal. I didn't hold F4, so we got that dumb mouse bug back again. So,
last game mech was a bit funny to see. And I do wonder if, because, you know, Serral's the top of the top for ladder on Zerg. Same with uThermal for Terran. So have these guys just played enough times off stream, have enough interaction between each other where uThermal says, like, look, I just can't beat him with bio. I have to try something different. Or was that just a choice of saying, I like mech, maybe it'll work?
I have no idea. The thing is, Serral had some very strong games versus top-tier Koreans that it should be scary. Maybe some people will say that I guess he does not perform that well versus bio. How true that is, honestly. But from what I've seen, we'll be watching him live in Korea, I was actually very impressed. So I have no idea what their personal matchup looks like. But uThermal didn't just play mech to be odd. He played an odd style of mech. So I'm like not too terribly surprised it didn't work. It was really about catching, I think, a greedier Zerg off guard, but the thing was, Serral wasn't ever not greedy, he just got greedy too fast. So he was able to defend with 5 bases and like 70 drones, because the aggression just wasn't, you know, barely just wasn't good enough for uThermal. uThermal, Acolyte, goes for Command Center first. Not very popular in TvZ, but you can definitely do it on this map.
What is this copy pasta?
Preparation of the Acolyte.
Hi chat, I have a dream. To fill Twitch with weeb. Help me by spamming. It's not like I want your help, but Baka.
I feel like you're supposed to, you know, verbally say the emotes as well.
Tip hello?
So it's like, well, no, I mean, like, you know, it's like, wave, hi chat, wave, I have a dream, wink, to fill Twitch with weeb, wink.
Help me by spamming angry.
Yeah,
I
didn't think the angry one through.
It's like I got 2/3 of the way through this. Then a roadblock.
Yeah, then a roadblock. I'm just gonna call that one Baka, so I'm just gonna say the spamming Baka.
It works. It kind of works, yeah. You're the worst weeb of them all. But okay, this game should be kind of interesting. First off, Serral does not skip his natural base. See this trending with a lot of Zerg players, and I think there's a lot of pros to like actually taking this later. I think what's good about taking this though is not only did he do this before, but uThermal's the type of guy who will go for drops, whether he's playing mech or bio, and it's bio this time around, by the way. That's a really fast second engineering bay. I shouldn't say really fast.
Third CC.
Yeah, actually that hopefully doesn't get scouted though, because if that gets up here, yeah.
That's unfortunate.
I don't think this is like hitting the switch and triggers the all-in like it used to, but still scouting a third CC like this, it does suddenly put uThermal. Star's not going to be droning blindly for as long as he might normally do type thing.
I think nowadays what you're scared of is that the Zerg is just going to be like, okay, you want to play that game? And goes to like 4 bases, 70 drones, and they know this aggression, the typical 2 medevac aggression, isn't going to be coming for like 2 minutes later, I think, than like if it was a 2-1-1. And it's only going to be the 2 medevac aggression, right? Like it's still not too scary to deal with. It's the next tech beyond that it is. And hey, by that time, if they're really playing a pinnacle macro game, then they're already good to go. So that's what uThermal was hopefully not letting happen, but by being scouted. I mean, look how he positioned it. He definitely didn't want that to be scouted, and it was.
Yeah, well, I think the other thing too is like the double engineering base is not insane, right? Like you hit early timings, we've seen it plenty of times before. The fact that you see the double engineering base with the third CC though, that brings up all kinds of question marks.
It's just the greediest thing you could possibly do. I mean, I guess the only greedier thing you could would be like
CCs.
Marine King. Well, I was gonna say no factory, because at least you got a factory in the third CC.
Actually, yeah, that's like who was it? Beyond was actually doing that for a little bit of time too. Where we're just going like crazy Marines. That's against Protoss, granted, but
yeah, I think only someone is. Honestly, at this point, can I just actually be as BM the Marine King as I've always wanted to be? Am I allowed now?
I mean, I've never said no. You make fun
Okay,
of him for his
well,
bunker all the time.
I'm really asking chat, and I actually don't care, so I'm just gonna say as stupid as Marine King was. Like, that's when you do that.
So if there's a rule on the channel, no player bashing.
Oh shit, that's a good point.
If you want people to not ask us to cast the game, don't be breaking the rules yourself.
Oh, that's a good point. Darn.
No,
well, anyways.
But it's a point. It is a fair point, though. We're like, sometimes, honestly, his greed was stupid. And you would look at me like, why would you do this? It didn't work the last 3 times in a row. Why would you do it a 4th?
Yeah, I think stupid's actually not even that BM. Like, people have called his builds stupid before. But I think usually silly is like the polite word. Let's just be real for a second, guys. That's a thing in the past, and the point was that uThermal did not do that. He went about as greedy as he possibly can in this day and age against her.
And as greedy as he tried to go, I still think Serral out-greeded him. 4 bases, 80 drones. At this point, it's all army going forward.
That is.
I think what scares me, though, is like the fact that if he takes that 8th gas, too, especially, that's so much fuel for banelings. And because uThermal's playing bio, there's a lot of creep that needs to be spread still. But any engagements at home with banelings on creep, easy peasy defense.
I'm actually kind of proud this is 2 minutes later. But it is what I was talking about, right? Like, it's a lot later than any other, like, 2-base build you would have, and it's only the 2 medevacs, still with no combat shields. This is something that Serral very easily deals with, and hey, Serral's already at 78 drones, 4 bases, decent creep spread, and on his way to Aspire, he's gonna be able to make, like, 8 mutas right off the bat, along with all the other upgrades.
It's almost like a really good pun, because they kind of look like bats. But not the kind you hit a baseball with, to be clear.
Hey man, when did I say bats?
You make 8 mutas right off the bat.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about it. Well, they were, like, based off, they were taken from, like, bats of, like, a home world, right? They weren't called bats either, but they look even more like bats. There actually is lore behind all of the Zerg units. I don't remember if it's canon or not, but it exists.
Yeah, well, they talk about... I think they go into that a little bit, too, with the Primal Zerg and stuff in the HOTS campaign, which was kind of cool.
Yeah, and if you got the book from the Legacy of the Void...
A book?
Like, special edition.
What are you, a nerd?
Reading.
I think like Harry Potter, too, huh?
I really like it. But they also describe some of that. Wait, so 5th base was not canceled. That was 200 minerals down the drain. Serral can definitely afford that. I guess, so we've been talking a lot about how Serral's going to take advantages after scouting a 3cc, but we haven't really, like, hit home about how strong macro is from a 3cc. Like, uThermal still has, like, this huge army, right? He's actually still up 30 army supply, even though Serral also took shortcuts and, like, really maxed up.
Well, it's matched by the fact that he just burned, like, 1 million scans because he doesn't need mules, like... the banelings don't get great hits, frankly. A lot of them go off on the Marauders, too. Not that many Marines still stand, but because of all the banelings going off the way they did, I don't think he's got enough to deal with the Marines that are left.
This is, I mean, first of all, it's kind of like, Serral's got to be a little taken aback that he just stomped onto creep, there wasn't really that many pauses, and that it is so bio-heavy. The Widow Mines are even in the back, not really helping anymore.
And a couple pops already went off, but Serral's, like, out of everything at this point. Yeah. I didn't think Greed would favor the Terran, but GG is called. uThermal takes the game. As he ties things up 1-1, I'm going to Alt F4. We're going to go to a break. We'll see you guys here for Map 3, the final game, when we get back. All right, well, it looks like the scenes are still broken, but at least we can still see the game. Woo! It's game number 3. Things are tied up 1-1. It's the last chance in this qualifier before one of these two is eliminated. Spawning to the lower right, he is the red Zerg player, Serral.
In the top left, has the blue Terran, it is Liquid uThermal.
I wonder why mainstream ducked down like that, but I guess a lot of people are starting to head over our way. So howdy, folks. Thanks for joining us on stream. That says the last thing of the day, so hope you enjoy the show from here on out. uThermal just showed some really cool game through Greed. Like, that was a match of greed for greed. That was a match of money for money, and honest to God, watching players like Snoot, watching players like Serral, I can't help but have a bias, but assume Zerg wins that every single time. So it was not just amazing, but exciting to see uThermal just, as you said, he just charged onto creep. There was no pause and scan. Like, he was just like, no, I'm coming for you. And just marched right down the front lines.
And certainly that contributed to the almost stomp that it made it look like. You buy time with the creep spread, they have to scan, they have to make sure their Wood mines are usually in place, so you're picking off Marauders and Wood mines with the mass mutas, because you got like 16 mutas, you just never really got to use them. And then you're also building Banelings as you need them. If they just charge in like that, it's usually not the better thing to do, don't get me wrong, but if they charge in like that, there is no finesse with the mutas that helps. They were trying. They were microing the hard hours of the Marauders, but they couldn't do very much.
And it wasn't just that. He was microing his Banelings simultaneously underneath the Mutalisks, too. Like, cautiously trying not to give them away for too much or too little. And just, again, like, uThermal just had the numbers game.
He did. So Serral, maybe he was also, like, not just being caught off guard because of how brazen he was going on a creep, but also about how powerful the attack was, how swift it was. Maybe he would have backed off a little bit from the greed, or maybe he would have gone more into Banelings, less than a Mutas. I mean, that could have been the solution right there. The Mutas did not end up helping as much as he was hoping for. If he holds that and then can counterattack, oh, uThermal has a really bad day holding against the Mutas on Acolyte, but they never got to.
Shout out to ZombieGo for hosting this stream, auto-hosting for 15 viewers, meaning for the last 4 hours she's not been hosting the stream.
It's randomized on my host list.
Shout out to ZombieGo for randomizing us on the host list.
I actually don't know who would have been stream. Like, I didn't think I hosted the main stream, so it was awfully coincidental. And also, why are there 15 viewers on my stream?
They just can't wait for the next cat mom to go live, dude. All right,
yeah.
Third CC comes down out of uThermal, but this isn't like a fast, super ridiculous third CC like last game, right? No double engineering base tied with this either. This is just going to be a little bit more of a normal version of this. So I don't know if we're going to see Serral match this greed for greed like last time, especially with the way it went for him. But he's going to have to scout that too.
Sure.
And did he didn't go Overlord speed this time, right? No, he's just sticking with normal Overlords.
So this is the losers bracket. Whoever loses this game is out. I'd be very happy to see either one of these guys. But this is not even the end. This is not like they die or they qualify. They either die or they continue the grueling process that is a losers bracket. There's at least 2 more games for whoever wins this tomorrow.
Yeah, a lot of games to be covered tomorrow, which unfortunately we won't be joining in for, but you guys will be able to catch that up on the StarCraft stream with, I'm going to assume Todd and Kalaris again, but I honestly don't know.
Yeah, I think.
So there's like Mr. Bitter and Roddy all over again. Surprise.
Bring some over from Red Bull. Yeah.
For no reason, just cause, for reasons. Okay, as the Hellions dart around, unfortunately they've already been picked and chewed away at, so there's no way to really get in there and do damage. Beyond this, Serral's also gone for double Evo chambers, and kind of in a weird spot. This isn't... Normally you'd see this as part of the wall, keep the Hellions out, whatever. It's not like bad, it's just odd to see used like this with the fear of Hellions nearby.
Well, yeah, 3cc bio game from uThermal, and Serral going for the Ling Baneling. I guess, you know, European Zerg, one of the better ones, one of the best ones from a lot of people's point of view, does seem to love Ling Bling, not playing to Ling Baneling Quick Hive or Ling Baneling Infester. Some of the, like Rogue, for instance, is bringing back those 2 things I just mentioned in a lot of his TvZs. No, Serral, despite being European, I think I've mostly seen him lately go, like, and by lately I mean since his growing popularity, go for a lot of Ling Bling. Most European Zergs are starting off with roaches. Remember that period of time? I didn't like it.
I kind of, you know, it was cool because Nurchio and like Snoot, they like paved the road for that, right? Roach and Fester became like really viable after watching people like Nurchio kill Bjorn and stuff like that. So I was okay with when it was hyping the start of it, but then it was just like overdone to death and not controlled well by everybody. So it wasn't even that impressive to watch some of the time.
I gotta say, the Ling Bling is always gonna be the classic matchup for me. I mean, the most classic would be up against Marine Tank, but, you know, Marine Wood Mine's good too.
Well, we got a bunch of random subs coming in, guys. Thank you so much. We'll get a shout-out list going after the game is done here, because, of course, it's the final one of the day, and we don't want to miss out on any of the action. With double medevacs speeding across the map, though, I mean, Serral's got an incredible amount of creep spread. It's going to be really hard to miss these medevacs coming.
Yeah.
In fact, this is, like, actually the only blind spot right here behind the mineral lines.
Yeah, the most gonna hope for is a quick cleanup of creep.
That should be fairly easy too.
Oh yeah, yeah, the units are out of position. But he doesn't go for it. Did he forget to save a scan?
It appears he did, Mule.
Oh, I'm so glad this happens to uThermal too.
I feel validated in the way I play when this happens to people better than me.
Yes. Okay, so that actually kind of sucks. I mean, it seems so just like, why even bother when the creep is just immediately planted back down again by queens he didn't kill? But I do think it was a mistake. Like that's usually a scan right there. Stops this creeps at the very least. Breaks down the rocks a lot earlier than usual, setting up for the future.
These upgrade disparities are going to be a little bit odd. uThermal's +2 weapons is considerably late, but if he handles engagements well, it may not be that big of a deal. This base being out here like this is kind of weird. It does create very unique attack opportunities for Serral. Like, normally you'd have to go all the way around the map just to get to a third base, but this one's kind of presenting itself right out in the open. So, I don't know, a bit of a wall off, and maybe catches these lings up here, and you shouldn't have too much to worry about. Mutilates do begin production as well. This will be good for starting to cull those medevac numbers down, but pushing out to creep once again. uThermal doesn't seem to care about cleaning up creep today.
No, he doesn't. Oh, maybe a little too far in a creep. Those mutas were a bit of a surprise.
Yeah, he's going to be able to unload over here, but still in danger of losing the medevacs potentially. Serral backs away. That other drop, by the way, is coming back to deal with the army, so he's collapsing on this entirely. A couple of Hellbats on the front line helping out a ton as he pushes this back onto creep.
Yeah, this game Serral's going to have faster too. Yeah, I would think that uThermal is gonna pause the scan, but maybe he like saw that last game and was like, no, that was actually a really good idea. Just don't bother staying still at all. He does take a defensive fight there, but he's scanning ahead to see what the army looks like, not really to clean up creep, and he's just rallying as much as possible.
The collapse is a little bit much, but that being said, the new Banelings finish hatching, and this unleashes into the Marines. There's not a wall of Marauders like last game to soak them. The Widowmines are still not getting amazing hits, although that last shot was pretty darn good. Still struggling with this. uThermal now starting to clean up some of that creep, realizing like all this speed for the Banelings is maybe a bit much.
Yeah, there's still so much creep that he's missing out on, though. To the left, there could be a surround, and just literally to the left, there's a live creep where he cannot get. There's a lot of Marauders left. That's where the mutas can come in and try and snipe those off.
That focus fire and that small split of the Marauders to let the Banelings through to be focus fired was awesome, though. Goes from a wall to a killing net, and this is, I don't know, maybe it finally gets pushed back, but uThermal's traded out so well through this, even with all the medevacs going down potentially here. Like, this forced so many Banelings out of Serral, and Serral's still not dealt with it yet.
No, he's not. There's a couple more Banelings left over. And it's still very, very close. Serral barely hanging on to his fourth base. He has another base kind of set up anyway, and I guess he's going to be starting to drone from there. He does end up pushing this back. uThermal is kind of 3-base all-inning here. He's going to have to lift his main command center if he hopes to continue on.
By the way, resources lost still favoring uThermal, but concern here is that main's going to be empty soon. And if he doesn't start moving it over, he's going to be really late to the transfer later.
Squeezing in that +3 weapons, thinking this game's could potentially go on a lot longer, you know, back and forth. I don't think he knows about the left side base, so for him he might be thinking, okay, well at least I've denied mining off of his fourth. Not true.
Yeah, that's really not the case. Also, he's lost those Widowmines that were getting the odd shot here and there, and well, sometimes there's only 3 kills, sometimes it was 8. Unfortunately, all the Widowmines are gone, so as he continues to fight, it is Marauders and Marines and just micro, but medevacs are going to get caught by these mutas as he picks up a try and retreat.
Widowmines save that little bunch of medevacs. The problem I feel really is that uThermal, so he's really lost a lot of ground. The momentum is giving way here. It's also that he's not really pushing into what I think is that important of an area anymore, now that Serral does have another mining base.
Yeah, you know, you're not contesting a base when there's no mining on that base. It's just a larva factory with like a bit of gas at this point.
Yeah, a bit of gas. You just deal with the Marines and the Banelings.
Yeah, you mentioned like the sort of 3-base all-in style to this, and behind it's of course he's getting counterattacked. Finally, some Lings managed to run by across the map, so find some breathing room to send those out. Getting 11 SCV kills is nice to a player who does have a limited economy in the first place.
Yeah, very true.
As he pushes down to the base again, like this hatchery is probably what he's really. I imagine this is why he's sticking around here, because the hatchery's so low. He wants to finish it, but.
Oh, one of those Good Minds looking for a nasty shot. Doesn't actually grab it, and the rest are...
Well,
I think that was okay.
The last shot, it took 3 or 4 Widowmine deaths to finally get a good one, but he does get a decent shot out of it. But, you know, before where uThermal was up like 20 or 30 supply, now he's barely maintaining a lead of 10.
Yeah.
And
he's about
Serral... Sorry, go on.
He's about to have an upgrade lead, so I was going to say, like 20 seconds here. And sometimes he's dipping off of creep, Serral losing banelings like that.
Well, I think what was, for me, the coolest part about this is, like, uThermal, like, okay, he finally gets to the base, and that's great. But for Serral, he was struggling to even have banlings for a lot of these engagements. Now he has plenty of banlings, right? Like, he's no longer struggling to this desperation of, like, I'm going to lose the game, I'm going to lose the game if I don't get, like, 3 banlings out. But yeah, up in army supply, up in workers. I'm liking Serral's position, but this is still not over.
No, it's not. He barely has enough, like, 10 meters is still a good amount to snipe things, but, like, you know, 2-3 more losses and it's getting more and more questionable. The banelings end up taking out the Widowmines, though, but I was focusing on the snipes.
Ooh,
and the mutas go and take out SCVs.
I'm surprised he went for this base, though, like, instead of the closer one, but either way, this is about 7 more SCVs down. The main base did have to transfer, as we had talked about earlier, so he's going to finally... Today I learned you can contaminate buildings mid-air.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
I feel like I knew that, but I forgot it for some reason.
I've never seen it. I think about it.
I was actually, you know what makes no sense though? Somehow this mucks up the gears that build SCVs, but not the landing equipment. You should not be able to land a contaminated building in the air.
Hey, that makes sense, right? Clearly, you know, the landing gear's on the bottom, and the contamination's on the top, okay?
The tumor only affects the brain. I don't know why his legs don't work anymore.
Whatever your analogy.
This, of course, is going to be problems. His Lings get in while he chases the mutas, and uThermal finds himself trying to chase between 2 very difficult locations. It's unfortunate because if he had the money to spare, like a single Thor placed on this cliff would mean both bases were safe.
Yeah. This is probably the point where Terran starts to feel like they have lost. It's still not a lost game yet, don't get me wrong, but it's when you have completely lost your momentum and they're the ones that are hitting your bases that you're like, okay, this is actually really suspicious.
Yeah, this went from bending towards Serral's side. It's like now being bent backwards, and at some point this teeter-totter or whatever metaphorical spoon is going to snap, and that's when the game's going to end. And of course, uThermal doesn't want that bending on his side. It has everything to do with that momentum. Yeah. More medevacs can get picked off by the mutas. Ooh.
You know, Serral is still on the same upgrades and the same composition. uThermal has that bit of an upgrade lead and still a good army, but it's gonna have to be one of those blitz moves, you know, that kind of shocks and carries the momentum forward.
I love the main to the 5th and the natural to the 4th/3rd, whatever you want to refer to it as. Like, uThermal's actually back up on 3-base mining now.
Yeah, I guess that's why he took the outer one first. He knew he was gonna take the other one with the natural. Yeah.
Maybe. Banling's wait, but he catches up with some of the Marines. So good splits. Great trades.
Well, that's a great trade. Kudos and all that. Serral is also back up to really decent mining. He's got that other base to the left side and taking another base to the right. Oh, and he's just going to pile on the pressure. I mean, this is where Widowmines get 1 or 2 great shots, but I don't think there's any Widowmines.
No, he's producing them now, though. I don't know which better or worse, though, like, right? Like, he's actually still trading out well versus this crazy Zerg army, but this is a crazy Zerg army that doesn't have ultras, no chitinous plating. This is stuff uThermal can still viably fight with what he has. He doesn't have to worry about changing his composition up, which is good for the fact that he's on this pretty, like, I'm gonna call it stale production, but it's like good production.
Yeah, exactly. But Serral now with a really good economy. He's also like kind of low on the drones for what a 16-minute TvZ would look like, now buffering it up to 70 plus. He's getting to an invitation bid. He's going to be getting to ultras and maybe a greater spire. And he's also going to have to deal with these mutas now attacking his bases.
Okay, so he's not going to deal with the mutas well, but he just dealt with those banlings like an absolute pro. Lifts the command center, pulls the SCVs. He lost like 3 marauders for all those banlings.
That was pretty good. Manages to catch 1 muta right there in the retreat. Like this is just so much room to maneuver now that he has all these bases thrown around and they're just like not all protected. This is also going to be combined with, I'm sure, future Ling attacks.
Oh, hello, random Widow Mines.
Yeah, there was not an Overseer, so now he's making one.
Actually, what was so sick about those two Widow Mines is I think that was enough to spook Serral away. He was about to get in here and get a lot of depots and SCV kills for free.
Well, now he takes out Widow Mines. Not for free. Widow Mine gets a muta.
Yeah, but the Marines now have position and timing to get here, whereas before they were like still in the main, so... Banley's gonna roll in, Marauders need to soak those hits, Marines are clumped up, and this gets a little bit scary around the base. Serral looking to try and end the game here, but uThermal holds!
That was only a portion of Serral's army. He still has a lot of Lings and Banelings back, way back on a creep, so uThermal, he's gonna try and take some momentum off of that win. He has to be very careful still.
Yeah, speaking of that, by the way, oh, some run-bys could be nasty. There's not a base he has to keep dealing with, actually. He can start lifting this one and moving to another base. Continue his 3-base weird mining strategy here, but not if Serral doesn't give him room to breathe. Continue to attack relentlessly. It's like you play those Dead of Night maps. There's no break from the Undead. There's no break from the Zerg. Constantly attacking. Constantly. Even if it's a little bit of damage and not much, there's no room for uThermal to breathe.
He's also starting to get suffocated by the creep spread, so he cleans up one creep tumor. That's it. You know, it's, I guess that stalls out that side, but the other side still continuing on. More attacks that he scouts and has to respond to, further delaying any type of push he would have. Serral not immediately going for the Ultralisk Cavern, adds on a Judah Glance. Well, actually, he's a little gas-starved. He never took the gases from the 4th he replaced, but he took the gases from his 5th or 6th. I don't know how to count the bases anymore. But he needs gas, basically, to continue on this tech path.
Yodel's count still on 20. Gonna get this command center. Should easily get the command center at least. I don't know if uThermal's gonna be drawing home with that or not, because he's still fighting on the front lines, and they can't just turn tail and run.
This is a very large supply deficit, but only 20 of that is in the army. Upgrades still on uThermal's side.
Yeah, the deficit comes when it comes to the economy, not to the actual army necessarily, but now it's starting to look that way. Losing a lot of that front line. This is looking so good for Serral. No GG. Ooh. That's cold. That's cold.
Yeah, that's loses bracket. uThermal is now out. They're running to qualify for Montreal. Serral continues his hope for tomorrow.
That's really sad for uThermal. I thought he played really well today too, but at the same time, congratulations to Serral. We got to follow a lot of Serral's games today. See him do quite well against Protoss and then evidently against Terran as well. I wish him the best of luck for tomorrow. He's got a couple of more tough matches ahead of him. But that is going to conclude the show for today, guys. Like we said, it was the last game of the qualifier, last match to be cast. So thank you all for joining us. If you enjoyed the show today, please hit that follow button. It's free. It helps us out. It helps you guys keep up with the casts that are going on too. The next thing we'll be doing will be on Sunday, but again, we don't quite know what exactly. We just have at least Colonial Wars with Maynard in the evening, and then maybe something in the morning with myself and Zombie Grub. But Sunday will be the next day we're live again. So Saturday is our day off. I hope you guys have a great weekend and a good Saturday as well. Before we play some last commercials to end the stream, I'm going to quickly just do shout outs. So again, thank you everybody who joined us on the stream today. We said we do those sub counts. So Billy Zane 1 hit us up for 22 months. Thank you kindly. Hello guys. Rotate Owls just now for 45 months. Jesus, says the legend never dies. Also, a quick note while I read these out. Once the stream goes offline, whoever's name is down there in the bit box is going to get a war chest code. So right now it is Victory Vegan. Nightshade. Hey, Nightshade. Glad to see you still hanging around, dude. 16 months. Thank you for coming back. The Rabbit 22 hit us up for 5 months to say hello. Griffalus, not Syphilis, for 36 months. 3 years. We're grateful to have you around still, man. I'd prefer not to. Came back for 19 months. And then Nemrax was a brand new sub with Twitch Prime. Thank you for joining the family. Erd Beernom for 15 months. Daniel K for a brand new sub. Phoenix 42 from earlier. And I think that's everybody, if I'm not mistaken. Hopefully I didn't miss anybody. And if I did, my apologies, guys. But we appreciate you all who continue to support us on the channel. Whether you're subbing, just watching, either way, thank you for being here. Follow me and Zombie Grub, of course, on Twitter to keep up with what we're doing. Zombie Grub's over at ZG Gaming. I'm at Riff_Kings. I know she's been streaming a lot of Brood War, or excuse me, StarCraft Remastered lately too, whether it's campaign or games. So follow her Twitch if you want to see some of that. I've just been doing PUBG mostly here on Base Trade, but I haven't been streaming much this week because I've had a lot of stuff going on in real life. So hopefully I'll be resolved sooner than later, but yeah, thank you guys for putting up with us. Terminator snaking out that bit boss right here at the very end. Ooh, and only 104 health. Totally killable, I'm just saying. Of course, check out our sponsors, guys, down below. Of course, Corsair's got the affiliate links. You know the deal. Any final words from you, Zombie Grub, before we take off?
Follow me on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. Zombie Grub. Thank you very much.
Daisodi brings the boss down to 1 HP. Okay, so here's the way. Oh, sorry, 11 HP. What we're gonna do is we're gonna run 2 minutes of commercials. Then I'm gonna take the stream offline. And so basically, until the commercial counter is done, you got a chance to get in there and steal the bit boss. But thank you again, everybody, for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Have a good weekend, and we'll see you on Sunday. Bye.
Bye.